Jai Mahadev, this is Amber Sukhi here on a part 2 on Kumbh Mela. Today we talk about Naga Sadhus. Naga Sadhus are somebody which are inseparable part of Kumbh Mela. In fact, they are given the first priority for and first honor, during the holy dip in the river in every Kumbh Melas. So there is a proper structure in which they are arranged. There are matadesh, there is particular mutts which has to go first and then second and third. It's almost very well disciplined place where I really don't know how it is organized. They are really mystical. There are several questions in my mind as to why these Naga sadhus, who they are, how do they become Naga sadhus, why do they disconnect with the world, why do they go and live in the mountains with and minus 10 and minus 20 degrees with no clothes, and something like that, how they can tolerate all these things, and how do they meditate for years together. Well, there are a lot of mystique around this sadhus, and I did some reading around, and I spoke to a few people, few knowledgeable people, and whatever inputs there, I've gathered it for you. Naga sadhus are those people who wear bhasma. Typically they put ash, which scientifically has got an importance of, because ash has got a lot of calcium and phosphorus, which protects you from any skin diseases and insulates you a little bit. Now this particular ash they are a Shiva Bhakt, so they want to dedicate their entire life to appease Shiva and get his blessing to get moksha. They spiritually, it is very scientifically, it is very difficult to make you understand, but spiritually they go from the level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and I don't know how many levels upstairs. The pyramid, I don't know where this pyramid ends. All it starts is, if one wants to become a Naga sadhu, he has to or he or she has to approach any mutt. There are 4 mutts across India, and they have to the matadesh, the mutt's chief has to understand your psychology, your zodiac structures, and whether your capability and your dedication to go through. And once he approves, you have to do something very extreme. You have to start from the extreme step. The first step is you have to do your pindadan. That means you have to declare to the world that you're dead. You have to do pindadans of all your relatives. So for you, all the relatives are dead. So they mean nothing to you. Your name will be changed, and you will have to then, once you go through this step, psychologically you are disconnected. All wires from the society, all commitments, everything is just disconnected. And then you're just given one vastra, okay, a trishul and a bowl. You have to go to 7 places and take a diksha. So when you take a diksha, you're allowed only to go to 7 households, whichever comes first, on a random basis. And if whatever they offer, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, stale, already half eaten, whatever they offer, you have to eat. If you don't get food on the 7th time in a 7 household in a day, you have to go hungry. So this goes on for maybe 4-5 years. In between, you have to come back. You have to start meditating. There are mantras which are given. You have to start meditating. It's not so easy to meditate and focus your attention. And then slowly they are observed. Amongst them, few people go to the level 2. And when they go to the level 2, then they are taught some weapons. How to use trishul, how to use bhala, how to use gada, and those basic weapons. And it's a very, very difficult exercise, something like our commandos go through. And many people, they don't pass through the test. They fail. They cannot endure the whole training. How do they do the training? I've not seen them. But they do amongst themselves. It is given perhaps 1-to-1 or amongst a small group, not in a huge battalion. And then what finally happens is, in the next stage, they are given tolerance tests, where while dikshas are going on, they have to disconnect to the world. Once they get disconnected, they are trained in tolerance of temperature, their body control, and slowly there are layers of discipline which they go through, and they control their breath, they control their internal organs, so that they can live off the basic food like jhad patti and other things, and they can survive. Once they start surviving, they go into the isolated spots, and there they start meditating further in the quietness of nature. And when they do that, they hardly, for they're known sadhus who don't eat for years together, but it is very intriguing how they live. And once they do that, it is said that they kind of attain divine powers, immense powers, the powers which elevates them to the level beyond humankind. That it is said, or that they can lift their soul out of their body, and they can go a little up away from their body and look at the things in a different perspective. Some raga sadhus attain the power to kind of go into the and hear the lower wavelength, the smallest wavelength in the earth, and they can talk to birds. They can understand what the trees are saying. Now these are the myths. These are the things, I don't know whether they are myths or they are reality, but they can come to that stage. And when they come to that stage, they can understand. Some people get a knowledge of blessing you for your better future. Some people get after that, they get the attainment or a siddhi to understand your future, your past. So this is called astrology. So everything is blended into and depends on what that naga sadhu really wants. And then he achieves moksha, he gets connected into the universe which is beyond us. And there they try to talk to people, they say to the aliens. They can understand different, they can understand atmas, they can understand bhoots, they can understand several other things which are really mystical and nothing to laugh off, because it sounds very very funny, because they have been depicted till now in a very funny tone. Because there were when we talk about sadhus and bapus, these are the asaram types, not the rapist type which I'm talking about. They are all rogues. The real ones, the real naga sadhu will never ask anything from you. They will never collect their own wealth. They don't want anything. They are totally disconnected. If you want to try to talk to them, they are not interested to talk. If you want to take an interview with them, they are not interested, because they have no connections. They don't know. They don't want anything out of you. Their only sole focus is Shiva, Mahadev. And once they do that, they try to condition their body into a different temperatures. And when they do that, they can walk on fire. They can do chamatkars which the normal man feels they are chamatkar. Like staying in a minus 20 degrees is something inhuman. I mean, if you talk about this in Switzerland or in Alps or somewhere else, I mean, they say, "Are you crazy?" But these guys have conditioned themselves. It is something akin to our soldiers in Ladakh. They have been acclimatized to that temperature, and they are conditioned to the system. So that is also one kind of a dedication. Here there is dedication of other kind. These are the soldiers of God, soldiers of Lord Shiva for our Sanatan Dharma. So they, it is something like attaining a spiritual university and controlled by Shankaracharya, the syllabus, their mantras, their tantras. There are two aspects about those Naga sadhus. There are some, they talk about Naga sadhus, and they talk about a negative sadhus which are called aghoris. Aghoris are scary. They they kind of meditate in the graveyards. They eat flesh out of human being. They do an intercourse with the dead bodies. They do, and this particular thing, although it sounds very weird, the actual fact is, in their mind, they have to stay focused on all while doing all these things, if they can focus on Lord Shiva, they attain a level which is of a different kind. So these are the various theories and concepts on which the whole roadmap, both the Naga sadhus and Aghoris go towards Lord Shiva, and Shiva is to attain Shiva, the manifestation of extreme tolerance. Okay, one has to do the meditation for years to make him happy, and some Naga sadhus are said to be living beyond 150 years. I don't know what is it, how much it is true, but they are still living with a very basic or no food at all. So I really don't know how this works, but it is certainly a point to be pondered around and thought about, that this is happening right here in front of us. It is not something which we are talking about 5,000 years ago concept. It is there for you to see and witness. And Kumbh Mela is the best opportunity to see them, to meet them. One more aspect I forgot is these Naga sadhus take up certain positions all as well. They will keep their hands up for years together, or what they will do is their lingam, okay, or the pennies. They will try and condition them to pull the things. They can pull the whole cart. You can see them. I mean, this is where they can control each part of the body to the immense strength. They can control their lungs, the breath, so that they breathe lesser amount of time and still stay alive. So all these things are something which is beyond human science, or human science has to come up to that level to understand, whatever is the way. But it's certainly intriguing, and I wanted to highlight on this aspect. This is Ambar Sukhi signing off. Please visit Kumbh Mela, okay, starting on 13th January 2025. Bye. Jai Mahadev.